Hello, my lovely students, and welcome back again to the online courses with Teacher Hamas. If you work hard enough and assert yourself and use your mind and imagination, you can shape the world to your desires. I don't know anyone who has got to the top without hard work. That is the recipe. It will not always get you to the top, but it should get you pretty near. So study hard and keep going, my lovely students. Grammar is the structural foundation of our ability to express ourselves. The more we are aware of how it works, the more we can monitor the meaning and effectiveness of the way we and others use language. It can help foster precision, detect ambiguity, and exploit the richness of expression available in English. That's why grammar is very important. In this presentation, we are going to discuss the grammar that you take along this semester. Be ready and start with me. Unit 7, Relative Pronouns, Reported Relative Pronoun. Relative pronoun is a word that connects two statements and refers to a noun or a pronoun within the sentence. As you can see here, we have different examples of relative pronouns. We are going to talk about who, which, and that. We use the relative pronoun who to join sentences to nouns, and we use it for people. We use the relative pronoun which to talk about things, and that replaces who and which, so we can use that to talk about people and things. Look at the example. The man is a doctor. He lives downstairs. Here we have two sentences. In order to join them together, we can use the relative pronoun who. The man who lives downstairs is a doctor. Who here related to the man. We can use sentences to describe nouns. Have a look to this mind map. Relative pronoun. Who refers to people, which refers to things, where refers to places. And as you see here, that refers to things and people. That's why we can replace who with that and which with that. Let us read and discuss these examples together. They caught the lady who killed her baby. I know the man who you met. I read the book which is on the table. I visited the town which you told me about. I like the vase that is over there. Mike found the keys that he had lost. And there is the restaurant where I ate last night. They caught the lady who killed her baby. Here we use the relative pronoun who because it is talking about the lady. I know the man who you met. That's why we use who here because we are talking about the man. I read the book which is on the table. We are talking about the book and the suitable relative pronoun for the book is which. I visited the town which and here we refer which to the town. I like the vase that is over there, and here we use that and we relate it to the vase. That's why we can use that or which. Mike found the keys that he had lost, and here also we use the relative pronoun that and we refer it to the keys, and we can also use which. There is the restaurant where I ate last night. That's why we use the relative pronoun where because we are talking about the restaurant. Let us practice some examples. Look at the first picture. Elizabeth tasted the coffee was very hot. Which relative pronoun we can put here? Excellent. Which? Elizabeth tasted the coffee which was very hot. Picture number 2. For dinner, I ordered a pizza. Was delicious. And here also we can use the relative pronoun which because we are talking about pizza. Number 3. Candy is cleaning the house. was a bit dirty. Also here we can use the relative pronoun which because we're referring it to the house. Picture number 4. Mary loves reading books, went to sleep very late. And here we need the relative pronoun who because we are talking about Mary. So Mary, who loves reading books, went to sleep very late. Ronald caught a green fish, was very small. And here we're talking about the fish. That's why we need the relative pronoun which. Ronald caught a green fish, which was very small. That's all for relative pronouns. I hope that you can understand this topic easily. It's time to start Unit 8 with past perfect tense in its affirmative, negative, and questions forms. We are going to start with the past perfect use and the past perfect form. We use past perfect in order to talk about an action that happened before another action in the past, like he had worked very hard before he finally won. So what happened first? Excellent, he had worked and then he won. So we use past perfect to talk about the action that happened before another action in the past. Past perfect form. We form the past perfect using had plus past participle. And as usual, we have three formulas for this tense: affirmative, negative, and question. In affirmative, we use had plus past participle. In negative, we use hadn't plus past participle, and in questions, we started with had, then we put the subject, after that we put the past participle, and don't forget to end the question with the question mark. Okay, have a look to these examples. Number 1, Mike had finished his homework before he watched television. 2. My mom had left before I woke up. 3. The snow had started to fall before Christmas Eve. Number 4. The team had finished practice before 10. 5. She had never visited Africa before her trip in 2009. And the last one there, Sam had seen the red car before he ran into it. And as you notice here, we use the time word before in order to express past perfect. Together, we are going to discuss these activities. Either we use past simple or past perfect. Number 1, I not study Japanese before to Japan. And here we have to put past perfect. Excellent. So I hadn't studied Japanese before I went to Japan. And here we have not, that's why we put hadn't. Number 2, she baked a lot before she opened her shop. Excellent. She had baked a lot before she opened her shop. Number 3, we have a lot of trouble because we lose our passports. Excellent. We had a lot of trouble because we had lost our passports. And as you see here, we start the sentence with past simple, then we put past perfect. Number 4, Brian know many people at the club because he there many times. Excellent. Brian knew many people at the club because he had been there many times. Number 5. They not study English before they moved to Canada. Excellent. The answer is they hadn't studied English before they moved to Canada. Number 6. You not enjoy the movie because you read the book. Number 6. You didn't enjoy the movie because you had read the book. Number 7. She really liked him because he help her? Excellent. She really liked him because he had helped her. Number 8. Amy studied a lot before she take the test, and the answer is Amy had studied a lot before she took the test. Number 9. We got into the restaurant only because we had reserved our places. We got only because we had reserved our places. Number 10. I not been to India before 1986, and the answer is I hadn't been to India before 1986. They have a lot of trouble before they finally succeed, and the answer is they had had a lot of trouble before they finally succeeded. Number 12. Chris owned that car for 5 years before he sold it, and the answer is Chris had owned that car for 5 years before he sold it. Number 13. Sharon be very sick until she stopped eating junk food, and the answer here Sharon had been very sick until she stopped eating junk food. Number 14. I be in Greece for 7 months before I moved to Spain. I had been in Greece for 7 months before I moved to Spain. The last one there, you cook a lot because you be so hungry. You cooked a lot because you had been so hungry. You can find the answers of the previous activity in this slide and in this slide too. Practice is all what you need in order to be perfect in past perfect. Now, let us move to Unit 9, where we can find the third conditional and the modal verbs. Let us start with the third conditional. The third conditional is a structure used for talking about a condition in the past that did not happen. It is also like a dream, but with no possibility of the dream coming true. We use the third conditional to talk about impossible conditions, and they are impossible because they happened in the past and we cannot change them. Here you can find the structure. The F plus the condition, F plus subject plus had plus verb past participle, and the complement. The result clause contains of subject plus would plus have plus verb past participle and the complement. Let us discuss these examples together. Look at the picture. I woke up late because I stayed up late. How can we form the third conditional? Excellent. I wouldn't have woken up late if I hadn't stayed up late. He had an accident because he wasn't careful. The third conditional. If he had been more careful, he wouldn't have had an accident. Pop didn't pass the test because he didn't study hard. The third conditional is, if Pop had studied harder, he wouldn't have failed the test. In this example, Sarah needed dental filling because she didn't brush her teeth frequently, and the third conditional sentence is, Sarah wouldn't have needed filling if he had brushed her teeth more frequently. And as you notice here, we start the third conditional with the main clause, not with the if clause. That's why we didn't write a comma. Dear students, in order not to be like this boy, try to study hard. Look what he said. If I had studied harder, I would have passed my exam. That's all for the third conditional. I hope that you can understand it easily. Let us move to the modal verbs and let's start with the definition. Modal verbs are special verbs that are used to show obligation, possibility, ability, advice, and permission. Modal verbs are the same for all people and are always followed by the infinitive without to. What are modal verbs? Can, could, may, might, must, shall, should, will, would, and ought to. They are auxiliary verbs that provide additional and specific meaning to the main verb of the sentence. Modal verbs are sometimes referred to as modal auxiliary verbs because they help other verbs. How do we use modals? We form them using the subject, then we write the modal, then we write the verb. Example, Mary could play the piano. The modal verb here is could and it is followed by the verb play. They do not accept conjunction, they do not need other auxiliary verbs, and there is no s in singular, there is no do or does in the questions, and there is no don't or doesn't in the negative. Have a look to the examples. He can ski, and we can't say he can ski or he can skis. Would you like to come with me? And we can't say do you would like to come with me? They can't be serious, and we can't say they don't can't be serious. Modal verbs do not have infinitives or ing forms, so we can't say to can, canning, to must, or musting. Modal verbs are followed by an infinitive without to, like she must study, we should have gone to the other way, he could play football in his youth, general ability. Modal verbs also do not have all the tenses. Modal verbs use other verbs to complete the tenses. Can is completed with be able to, must is completed with have to. Let us discuss this table together. Here we have different modal verbs and how can we use them. Probability and possibility, ability, permission, obligation and advice, offers. We can use can to express ability like I can play the piano, and we also can use can to give permissions like can I go out tonight? We can use can't to talk about probability or possibility, ability, and permission. She can't be his mom. She's too young. Or I can't speak German, and this is talking about ability. Can I borrow the car? No, I can't, and this is for permission. Might. We can use it for probability and possibility too. It might rain tomorrow. Could. It is also used with possibility, ability, and permission. It could rain tomorrow. I could already read when I was 2. Could I see your passport, please, sir? Have a look to me. We can use it for possibility and permission. It may rain tomorrow. And may I leave the table? Look, look at, look at must. Must, she must be her sister because they look alike, or she must be his sister because they look alike. Here we're talking about possibility. And we can also use must to talk about obligation. You must leave before the clock strikes 12. You must leave before the clock strikes 12. Have to, we use it for obligation. I have to study tonight. Shall for advice and offers, like you shall pay on Tuesday or shall I help you? Should or ought to give us the same meaning for advice. You should see it, it's excellent. You should see it, it is excellent. And here we have had better and would. Also, we can use had better for obligation, you had better sleep more, and would for offers, would you like a drink? My brilliant students, modal verbs are very easy. You should study hard. You have to stay at home. And remember, you can do it. We are going to start Unit 10 and 11. In these two units, we are going to discuss reported speech, statements, questions, commands, and requests. Reported speech. What is it? How do you use it? We use reported speech when we want to tell another person about a conversation that took place in the past, example, telephone call, news, or a story that someone told us. Changes from direct to reported speech. Verb tenses, personal pronouns or possessives, demonstratives, time and place expressions. Changes in time and place expressions. Now, then, ago, before, today, that day, tomorrow, the following day or the day after, yesterday, the previous day or the day before, last week or month, the previous week or month, or the week before, next week or month, the following week, month, or the week or month after. Here, there, this town or garden, that town or garden, these cities, those cities. Reporting statements. Statements are affirmative or negative sentences. We use a reporting verb plus that, and we can omit it, subject, verb in a previous tense, and the complement. Let us have a look to these examples. The students are tired, said the teacher. The teacher said that the students were tired. It is the funniest show I've ever seen, John told me. John told me that it was the funniest show she had ever seen. I'll call you this afternoon, Mary assured, and here we can replace assured with said. Mary said. Mary said that she would call us that afternoon. Reporting questions. Introductory verbs like ask, wonder, would like, and want to know. First, yes or no questions. We need reporting verb plus F or whether plus the subject plus the verb. Order of reported question, subject plus the verb as in a statement. Are you working these days? He asked. He asked if or whether I was working those days without a question mark. Did you speak to John last night? She asked. She wanted to know if I had spoken to John the night before. The W at questions. Reporting verb plus the question word plus the subject plus the verb. The word order is again the same as in the statements. Example, where did you go last summer? He asked me where I had gone the previous summer. And notice here that we change go to had gone and we change last summer to the previous summer. The second example, how long were you waiting for us? She wanted to know, or she asked, how long I had been waiting for them. How long I had been waiting for them, full stop. Reporting commands or orders. The imperative changes into not to infinitive. He said to us, stay here. He told us to stay there. And notice here that we change here into there. The reporting verb must indicate order. He said, don't mention that. He told me not to mention that. Say that again, he said to me. He told me to say that again. Reporting requests. Can I go out tonight, Mom, please? The boy asked. The boy asked to go out that night. John, don't open the window, please, I said. I asked or requested or begged John not to open the window. Can you let me use your phone, please? I asked my neighbor. I asked my neighbor to let me use her phone. Can I use your phone? I asked my neighbor. I asked my neighbor if I could use her phone or to use her phone. Practice is very important in order to understand reported speech. Keep going and good luck. After we finish reported speech, we are going to discuss reflexive pronouns together. What are reflexive pronouns? A reflexive pronoun is a special kind of pronoun. It is usually used when the object of a sentence is the same as the subject, as you will see below. Each personal pronoun, like I, you, she, etc., has its own reflexive form. This introduction will explain what the different forms of reflexive pronouns are and when they are used. Reflexive pronouns are used in three main situations. When the subject and object are the same, I hurt myself, the band call themselves, he shot himself. Or when the object of a preposition referring to the subject, like I bought a present for myself, she did it by herself, that man is talking to himself. When you want to emphasize the subject, like I'll do it myself, no one else will help me, they ate all the food themselves, no one else had any. Look at this table. We have a group of personal pronoun and the reflexive pronoun. I, myself, you, singular, yourself, you, plural, yourselves, he, himself, she, herself, it, itself, we, ourselves, they, themselves. Now let us practice some examples ourselves. Number 1. John hurt while he was fixing his car. Excellent. John hurt himself while he was fixing his car. Number 2. At 2:30, Paul and I went to the cafeteria to buy some lunch. At 2:30, Paul and I went to the cafeteria to buy ourselves some lunch. 3. When I saw in the mirror, I was horrified. There was red paint on my nose. When I saw myself in the mirror, I was horrified. There was red paint on my nose. Number 4. I'll have to help my friend to fill in her form, but I think she can do it by herself. Excellent. Number 5. Judy and her husband own their own company, so they can give themselves a holiday anytime they want. Number 6, everyone is welcome to the party. Just help yourselves to sandwiches and snacks. Here you can find a list of reflexive pronouns and don't forget to practice studying yourself. Good luck! In Unit 12, we are going to discuss wish plus simple past structure and the question tags. You are excited, aren't you? We would like something to be different. That's how we wish. We form wish structure by wish plus that plus past simple. We can use wish to talk about something that we would like to be different in the present or in the future. It is used for things which are impossible or very unlikely. I wish plus simple past. Have a look to the examples. I am very lazy. This is the fact. I wish I wasn't lazy, and this is the wish. You are not here. This is the fact. I wish you were here. This is the wish. He doesn't love me. This is the fact. I wish he loved me. This is the wish. It's time to practice. Have a look to the table. The fact and the wish. I am fat. I wish I wasn't fat. I don't have any friends. I wish I excellent. I had some friends. I didn't work for the exam. I wish I worked for the exam. I can't swim. I wish I could swim. Excellent. He doesn't help me. I wish he helped me. Good luck. Wishing you great success. Keep up the good work and never stop aspiring to be the best in life. Okay, students, let us move to the question tags. Question tags are short form at the end of the statements. They are mainly used in speech when we want to confirm something or when we want to find out if something is true or not. It isn't a dog, is it? They are cats, aren't they? Question tags are formed with the auxiliary or modal verb from the main sentence and the appropriate subject pronoun. Karen is learning to drive, isn't she? Mark can't ride a horse, can he? We use a negative question tag after a positive sentence. Kate will be here soon, won't she? There was a lot of traffic, wasn't there? Michael should pass the exam, shouldn't he? And we use a positive question tag after a negative sentence. Kate won't be late, will she? They don't like us, do they? You haven't got a car, have you? When the verb of the sentence is in the present or past simple, we form the question tag with do or does or did and the subject pronoun. John doesn't like golf, does he? They left for Milan, didn't they? When the sentence contains a word with a negative meaning like never, hardly, seldom, or rarely, the question tag is positive. They hardly ever go to the theater, do they? He never plays tennis, does he? We use question tags to ask for agreement or to find out more information. It is a beautiful day, isn't it? We're having an amazing day, aren't we? The students worked well together, didn't they? Dear students, do not forget to use a positive tag with the negative statement and a negative tag with the positive statement. Tim isn't here. This is a negative sentence, so the tag should be positive, is he. Extreme sports can be dangerous. This is a positive sentence, so the tag should be negative, can't they. The verb tense of the question tag is the same of the verb of the main sentence. If the verb in present simple, the question tag is in present simple. You are happy, aren't you? If the verb is in past simple, the question tag should be in past simple. You were happy, weren't you? Let us discuss these examples together. The students worked well together, didn't they? Because we have worked, so this sentence is in simple past, that's why we use didn't they. He never goes out with his friends, does he? This sentence is in simple present, that's why we use a simple present question tag, does he? They never go to school by car, do they? And notice here that we have the word never that gives us the negative meaning of the sentence. That's why we use a positive tag, do they. Here you can find the last example. John performed well last night, didn't he? And this sentence is in simple past, that's why we use didn't he. Question tags are very easy, aren't they? Be grateful. Grateful students are happy students. No matter what situation you are in, there is always something to be thankful for. School, friends, family, food, health, and your teacher. Have a nice day. That's all for this year. I hope that your coming years will be the best. Your teacher, حماس الجيوسي.